It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Montage of smack talk. It's time. Cue the music.
Oh, waka, see no waka.
Nice. I got you. Give me a little more of that, Shaheen.
This is Making the Merge.
We can very well win this thing.
I'm a dog person now.
Line them up, let's knock them down.
You told me your dog was sick. I'd say, I'm coming over.
You know, I crack open a coconut and they didn't cheer for me.
You're either in a survivor or you're not.
It's not about the $1 million. All I want to do is win a million hearts.
Welcome to Making the Merge. I'm PD. I'm joined by Chase, Bran, and Jonathan. And when I heard that clip of Shaheen when I was watching the episode, I thought, you know what? We got our intro. Yeah. And then I thought, I don't even have to tell Bran. He'll just do it. And we didn't discuss it, and he did do it. Dang. So thank you, Bran.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't been in a working relationship for very long, but I feel, sometimes you just know what the other person is thinking. You know what is required of you, and I feel that already with you guys.
Wow. Well, you feel it with PD.
Mainly
PD. I was going to say,
Chase
Chase and I think, are the wild cards.
Oh, Jonathan,
look, me and Bran are the Luka and LeBron of making the merge.
That's exactly right. You actually prepared a best of video for me, which was really sweet, and we're going to watch that now.
Can you clear that up? You guys are basketball fans. I know we need to get into Survivor. Why was he crying? Why was Luka crying?
We don't have time for this.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long season.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long season, lots of turmoil.
Well, why is he crying, though? What was the best of thing video of?
So Luka's
PD, cut this.
Okay, so Luka, really good basketball player.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Played for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Mavericks traded him
out
of nowhere
to the Lakers.
Yes,
and for like Anthony Davis or something like that.
And so this was his first time being back in Dallas, and just seeing all that. He didn't want to leave. He didn't know that he was going to leave.
So they played a highlight reel.
Oh yeah, I did hear
before introducing him, and made him sad, and he cried.
Dang, dude, man, I love when athletes can show emotion like that. Makes me like them.
Yeah.
And that's what we love about Survivor.
That's how you do it.
So we start with Cedric saying, I need you to make me laugh, Mitch. And Mitch is in no mood to laugh, guys. He just lost his number one, and now he doesn't feel like he can trust anybody. But he tries to smooth things over with Say, and she's not buying it because she got voted for twice by him.
Yeah, what I thought was so interesting about this, because we jump right into the aftermath of last week's tribal, and I like how Mitch immediately was panicking, and he's trying to explain that he did not want to vote for her, but he felt like everyone was forcing him to, and so he just went along with it, only to be blindsided and find out that no one, was following through on that plan. But then Say goes, but then why'd you vote for me the other week?
Well, she also at one point, though, kind of says, I'm a cat with 9 lives.
Yeah.
And it's very true. But then right after that, she said, these people are obsessed with me. And as she said it, I kind of was sitting on the couch reflecting, and I was like, am I obsessed with Say a little bit? Probably.
I am.
So it felt like a call out a little bit. Like, these people are obsessed with me. They won't stop trying to vote and get me out. And I was like, that feels directed even at me now.
Brand, Say is on your team. How are you feeling at this point?
Oh, I think it's. I've been concerned about Say for a little while now.
Well, she's got 9 lives.
She has 9 lives.
What life is she on?
I think she's used most.
Are you obsessed with her too?
I think it's been pretty clear that I've been
okay.
obsessed with
I was just
Say
double
since
checking.
episode
I wanted to
1.
make sure we had the right vibe on this.
The obsession is still real for me. There's just a real concern. And anytime somebody has that many votes, it's really hard to turn it around. And so she got so many votes early on, and so the lives 9 or not. she's going to run out of them eventually. And so I was very concerned.
Yeah, you should have been.
And if you listen to the Sanctuary, you would know that the Reddit commenters are also obsessed with Say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everyone's obsessed with Say.
We love Say.
Cedric received 1 vote at Tribal, and he's trying to get to the bottom of it because that's what he does. He tries to get to the bottom of stuff.
Nice.
And Cedric notices that the vote was written beautifully. And he thought maybe it was Say, but he said, Say had never had that kind of penmanship. And it's not like she would just be saving that kind of beautiful penmanship for writing his name. So, what actually happened, Bran?
She actually was indeed saving that penmanship for such a time as this, which is so good, so amazing,
so fun.
Everybody should be obsessed with her because this is a next level move. This is I am going to write the same way for every vote unless it's a petty vote. And then it's going to be in a cursive and everyone's going to be like, who did that? And no one's like, it's so funny.
I love the fact that out of all of the people to start talking about beautiful penmanship, it was Cedric, a doctor, which is like a notoriously stereotyped bad handwriting job. So it's like maybe it was just average handwriting. But as a doctor, he was like, this is beautiful,
Now, I want to know, I don't know how much they get to discuss things with each other after the season is over. I want to know, did Cedric find out for the first time that when it aired? I wish I could have seen him finding out that it was her.
He probably found out that night.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Spoilers, Pete.
Oh, yeah, spoilers.
But,
wow. Those two had a little bit to talk about.
A little bit.
Yeah, they had some time to spend together. Yeah. Pretty ironic.
It is a little ironic.
So we've got everybody sitting on the beach, and Mitch is just super sad still. Shaheen has a little chat with him about it, and then he chats with Joe about it. But Mitch isn't defeated just yet. He said the best way to connect with people is to share stories from outside the game. And then he tells them about how he used to be a mailman. Mailman Mitch. That would have been fun to see.
That would have been fun.
I wish they showed some pictures. They don't really do the American Idol stuff anymore, but they used to do these montages,
little floating pictures.
Yes. I'm kind of glad they cut that, but it would have been fun to have Mailman Mitch.
So you're glad they cut it when you don't want it, but when you want it, you're upset at them. Is what you're
when
telling
it's some
me.
dumb sob story of I was fat in high school. But this something like this would be better.
What is everyone on?
I don't know what's going on right now.
Joe, he just points out the obvious. He's like, "This Mitch is great. Mitch is good at challenges. Mitch is somebody with an amazing story. You don't want Mitch to be around."
And he's right. Mitch is awesome.
Yeah, not wrong. And I think I said it in the chat while we were watching along. I don't know if I would be here today if Mitch got voted out. And Mitch isn't even on my team.
Mitch is on my team.
Yeah. It would just be PD and Jonathan because I would just be so sad. I'd be so sad if Mitch got. I know at some point the chances are Mitch will get voted out, but I wasn't prepared for it.
I said the same thing to Kristen as we watched last night. I said, if Mitch goes, I'm going to be so sad. And she said, why? And that's what her reply was. So it felt a little bit like we switched personalities for a moment. But she apparently would not be sad if Mitch went home.
Well, for anybody who's not on my team, if it's somebody I really liked, I get sad for a moment, but then I'm like, at least it wasn't my team.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And that's exactly how I'm going to feel later in this episode. What happens next, PD?
So we get Cedric and Shaheen talking, and Cedric says he's trying not to flip or be part of any insurrection. So we know that Cedric is not aligned with Charity. And then
Dang,
while we're talking about Charity, can we all I feel so much better after watching this episode because everybody else was surprised to find out that Mitch and Charity were his closest they were. Everybody's sort of like, why are you so sad? And he's like, Charity, my best friend. And everyone's like, what? We missed it. So it makes me feel better that we were also very confused.
Well, I mean, we saw their relationship. They would laugh and cut up, but I didn't know that they were strategically that linked. I just thought they were friends.
I assumed that they were close, but not like, I'm so sad that they got voted out.
We're going to the final two together.
Yeah. Shaheen feels like he's in pretty good control of the tribe because everybody's coming up and talking to Shaheen. So how do you think Shaheen's going to fare? Do you think that he is your winner, Bran?
You know what? And I will get to it. David has had a steady climb for me. If you all recall, David was my final vote, and I was reluctant to draft him. And now I'm starting to think that he might have what it takes to go all the way. So that's why, the draft early in the season is tough, because you can only learn so much with the first couple episodes.
So you know what it's time to do now?
What time is it?
It's time for challenge time with
It's
Chase.
everybody's favorite part of the episode, where we're going to break down the challenge. It happened so quickly in this episode.
It did?
Yeah.
Like, in our live Patreon chat, everyone was like, whoa, challenge time already? It was like 10 minutes in. It was pretty crazy. But when it's double elimination week, you got to make time for 2 tribal councils. Guys, it is a Survivor classic. You have got to hold on to a handle connected to a bucket that contains 25% of the player's pre-game body weight. But this is not an individual immunity challenge. Oh no. The players are randomly divided into 2 teams. We have orange and purple. And the last person standing for each team will get immunity, because tonight there will be 2 tribal councils.
Ooh.
Yeah. Also, the person who outlasts everyone else on both teams, they will win food for their team. The orange team consists of Star, Joe, Mitch, Eva, Chrissy, and Say, while the purple team has Kyle, Shaheen, Cedric, Mary, David, and Camilla.
There's also the fact that the first team to go out completely, that they're the first ones to go to tribal, and that person does not get to be on the jury.
Right. Yeah.
So that was also kind of devastating.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It is very brutal. And I'm sure we'll talk about that when we get to tribal council later. But man, the idea of like the person who does go home first that we'll talk about not being on the jury, I think is a big blow to the season, because they would have been great on the jury.
Whoever they are.
Whoever
she is.
All right, guys, the challenge begins, and Cedric immediately drops in, is out.
I'm telling you, I stood up from my couch when he did it, and I walked out of the room for a moment.
I counted. It was 18 seconds.
Yeah. My wife, who is passively watching along with me, does know enough about Cedric to know how bad he is. And literally, he drops his bucket and she says, "What is wrong with him?"
I think someone in the live chat says, "How does he hold his surgical tools?"
Lift my hand!
I had no question that he wouldn't win it. I had zero question. But I still somehow was surprised enough to walk out of the room at how fast he didn't win it. That has to be a record too, right? I mean, this whole challenge is like a record, but that has to be a record of how long someone did not make it.
It's a great point. Everybody's talking about the longest. What about the shortest?
Right.
I think they both happened in the same episode.
I think that definitely is the shortest. It has to be, but Jeff didn't say, "Well, it's a new record."
Although it would have been great to hear.
So I looked down at the chat, and I missed it. But the challenge starts. I look down at the chat. Everybody's like, "Cedric dropped." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I look back up, and I'm like, "What is happening?" It was like last year with the auction where Andy was searching for the tubes. That was Brand's first episode with us. Andy was searching for the tubes of money, and he couldn't find a single one. And I was just sitting there like, "I invested in you, and this is how you repay me."
That's how I felt all season, PD. Every episode, every moment, I've said, I chose you, and you're doing this to me. It's very personal.
For reference, Jonathan drafted Cedric. Back to the challenge. The funniest part about Cedric getting eliminated so quickly in the challenge was we see reaction shots from some of the other players when this happens. Camilla is shocked for some reason, as if she didn't see this coming. Her mouth like is wide open. And then we get a close up of Mary, and Mary's just like shaking her head like a disappointed mother. Mother Mary.
Mother Mary.
Yeah.
She's seen
Mother
enough
Mary.
of it.
Like it looked like it upset her with how badly he did in the challenge.
I just want to, like, we're obviously not getting as much Mary as we did early on this season, but man, she continues to shine.
She's
like
so
the
funny.
little moments that she gets are just always so good.
Oh, absolutely, dude. So after Cedric eliminates himself 18 seconds in, the next person to drop pretty shortly thereafter is Star. Chrissy is next. Now both her and Star are on the orange team, so now Purple is in the lead by 1. Say.
Wow, that hasn't happened in weeks.
Dang,
On
dude.
this week of all weeks, too.
Wow.
It's the way her name's spelled.
Yes, we like we discussed, early on, Cobra Sai.
Okay. Say immediately drops after Chrissy, and then Camilla drops for Purple. Mary manages to hang on with the 3 super strong guys on her team, but she is the one who drops next. That brings us to 3 players remaining on each team. We have Eva, Joe, and Mitch over on orange team, and we have David, Kyle, and Shaheen over on purple team.
That's a lot of muscle.
That is a lot of muscle. A lot of milk. Muscle milk, baby.
Real jacked, baby.
Shaheen is actually the next to drop, and then Mitch follows. David and Kyle start doing a little smack talk to each other, which causes Jeff to say, cue the music, it's time for a montage. Shaheen provides the music by doing his impression of the Survivor theme. Uwaka siamaka.
Man,
How awesome was that?
I told Kristen, and I thought about it the rest of the night, that this edit of this challenge and also the whole episode was just a 10 out of 10 edit.
Oh, yeah.
The challenge, I was laughing like I was watching a comedy. Like it was timed so well, and them just cutting him in with the fake theme song, like it's just so good.
I haven't listened to On Fire yet, but I can't wait. I literally thought about it while this was happening. It's like, I can't wait to hear Jeff explain this edit, because he's going to be like, I just got to give a shout out to the team.
Man.
Team Flint.
So, as you guys have said, production uses Shaheen's impression vocals to put together a montage of David and Kyle smack talking each other. And it's hilarious. It's awesome. Other people are joining in. Eva gets in on the smack talk. She asks if Kyle was going to pee himself in this challenge.
Wait, is that a reference to he peed himself before?
That's what I was
That's what I was
like
wondering.
it.
And I was like, at what point?
Yeah.
And why wasn't this brought up?
No. Why didn't we get a tight shot on Kyle's pants?
Yeah, but or maybe it was just like the way she phrased it wasn't the way she meant to phrase it. Like she was just trying to be like, "Oh, don't pee your pants, baby," but it came across like he does this but a lot.
You know what I bet? I bet he at some point said that he peed in the water during a challenge. Because I'd do that.
Yeah.
You're just in the middle of a challenge.
In the middle of a challenge?
I
You're
never
in the water?
considered that.
So, and then, she knows that, and then here's a burn for you. You're going to pee this time, too.
Yeah, we're not even in the water
we're not
this
even
time,
in the
Kyle.
water.
We'll all see it this time, Kyle. Loser. Chrissy, she's eliminated at this point. She's jumping in. She's chiming in. She tries to support her girl, Eva, because, Eva loves fellow women.
Yes, she does.
And she goes, just imagine you're on a lake in Michigan, to which Eva immediately goes, I'm from Minnesota, not Michigan. Stop talking. I only like the guys.
Chrissy, well, shut up now.
And hey, you know what? This really infuriated me, Chrissy, because you're an embarrassment to my team. Okay? You get very limited screen time. You get very limited screen time, and you use it to be wrong about where Eva's from. Dude,
Okay.
I need you to step it up, Chrissy.
Hold up.
Whoa.
You already eliminated yourself from the challenge. I was worried that you were going to go home and I was going to be left with only 2 remaining players. What if one of my other players got eliminated and I was left with 1 person because of you, Chrissy? You need to focus. You need to. I'm done.
This, I don't know about Brand and PD, but did that come out of nowhere just now? Chase, are you okay?
So Chrissy tries to hype up another contestant.
Nope.
She gets a state wrong, and Chase is like, I hate you. I wish you weren't even on my team.
I never said
It
either of those things.
sounded
I
like
never said
you
either of
did.
those things.
You yelled for like a minute.
I said she needs to focus. I said she needs to
On
not
what?
Focus on states.
on the
What are you
games,
saying?
dude. What happens when she's in the final four and instead of fire making, they do a trivia game like they used to, where they're like, "Where was Eva from?"
Well, now she'll know.
To get us back on track, I feel as if I have somehow maintained. Now, I've said some mean things about Cedric, right? But
Yes.
I feel as if Cedric has really tested my patience. And suddenly, Chrissy gets one state wrong, and you have a complete conniption
This
on
has been boiling
air.
up, man. This
Look,
is boiling up. I need
boiling-
her. I'm relying on her.
Hey, Jonathan, just a reminder. Cedric cried last week, and you said cry harder.
Yeah, I do feel like I feel like I said, I've said some mean things about Cedric, but I don't know that I've completely like just raged out on him.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, okay. Now I feel like I need to explain myself. Okay, Chrissy, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to treat you like that. Okay.
I do not like it.
This
Tony.
is
It's something. Yeah, are we in
This is-
problematic
it's
territory?
because-
Chrissy, sweetheart,
Sweetheart.
darling.
darling. Let me. I didn't mean to be like that.
You're ordering dinner at a diner?
It is not that way.
Look, I'm just saying I'm counting on you. I'm depending on you, okay? Because I got Mary, you, and Mitch. And Mitch, he's sensitive. We saw him cry a lot this episode. Chrissy, I need you to be my winner. You got to focus, okay?
Did you say winner?
My winner.
My winner.
My winner.
My winner.
Chrissy.
Chrissy, are you
I
going to
need
win
to
the
be my
game for
winner.
me?
Chrissy,
I almost
please.
died because you said widow.
Chrissy, please be my winner.
This wasn't supposed to be this big of a thing, guys. Okay. I was supposed to yell at Chrissy and move on. Okay.
You yelled at
God.
Chrissy too hard, and we had to linger on it.
Yeah, my bad. I never know when too much is too much. Okay.
He's a rebel.
Chrissy, after the Chrissy thing. So David is solid, dude. We are 15 minutes into this challenge. He is holding it with one hand. He's doing modeling poses. He's flexing on everyone. How are you feeling at this point, Brand? Because David's on your team.
I this is when it was a real turn for me. I was like, this is when I was like, this guy could win it all. He could
Yes.
never lose another challenge.
That's very
Like,
true.
I've never seen something like this. It literally, like there's sometimes where players will be like, they're trying not to show that they're in pain, but you're
Right.
like, you can kind of see it in their eyes. It literally looked like, I was like, did he get the wrong bucket?
Yeah, he wasn't trying.
Whoa, he got Mary's bucket.
He got Mary's bucket, which makes what Mary did even more impressive when she had David's bucket.
Cedric's bucket couldn't get up a wall.
Cedric happened to have the worst performance of his life. Meanwhile, David is absolutely crushing and really emphasizing the fact that he's not having to even try.
Yeah, and that's what makes me think he might not be our winner when he's so cocky. He's doing it with one
Yeah,
hand.
it was
he's trash
bad.
talking.
We didn't see any confessionals of people being like, he went too far. I felt like it was all in good fun.
Where's
I
the
think so.
tact? I need tact.
Where's the tag?
Yeah.
I needed a say confessional for being like, I would never do that.
About 20 minutes into the challenge, Eva finally drops. Joe is the first person to win individual immunity for tonight. The Wrights have at least one person safe. That's awesome. David and Kyle are on the other team. David looks over to Kyle. Kyle is struggling. And David just goes, I got this, man. And Kyle says, you got this? And David just kind of nods. He's like, I got it. And so Kyle drops. That means that David wins the second individual immunity tonight. And that I want to talk a little bit about that interaction because it felt to me that David was trying to tell Kyle, like, hey, don't worry. I'm so solid. I will win us the food. Don't feel like you have to
No,
stick
I did
around.
not take it that way. Definitely not.
And then I also took it as because Kyle and David are a part of that alliance where David is like, we're not backstabbing people.
Yeah, that's
We're
how
not
I
turning,
took it.
We're not turning. And so I think it was just kind of those things like, hey, don't worry. I can handle it from here.
Yeah, I took it as that, not the food part.
Oh, okay.
I took it as smack talk again, like in
Oh,
good
I didn't take it
fun.
like that at all.
Yeah.
I thought that he was literally just looking at him and being like, I got this. Like, there's no point in you even struggling.
So officially, the two people safe at the tribal council tonight are Joe and David.
Yeah.
Joe is on the Wrights team, and David is on Bran's team, so Bran officially has at least one person saved tonight at Tribal 2. That puts them in a good position. Joe and David keep going, though, and they actually break the Survivor record for this challenge. 38 minutes was the former record. It was made by
Gabler.
Gabler, thank you.
Gabler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He started naming ancestors.
They smash it by lasting almost an hour. But Joe does end up dropping, and David wins the food for his team. And finally, we are done with the challenge.
I'm just thinking about Gabler now.
Yeah.
You guys don't even know about Gabler.
Yeah, I haven't seen that season.
I don't know who Gabler is. I just keep.
This one's for my friend Joe.
This is for all the firefighters. Y'all are gonna love it when you see it.
Gabler
What season is
killing
this?
it on that.
43.
Okay.
The one right before we
The
picked
Gabler.
up New Era.
The Gabler. Reminds me of like the Riddler.
Yeah.
Well, his nickname was the Alligabler.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
No, it
Quick
was
summary
good.
for you guys. He basically, for every minute, PD, Gabler says this minute is for the firefighters.
Yeah, and everybody was people were so mad.
I can't wait for that. That sounds
Why
awesome.
were people mad at
People
that?
were so mad because they found him annoying, and then he's like in the middle of the challenge, and you just won't shut up about like, this is for all the people in the hospital I work at, and this is for everybody in Maine, and this is for everybody who's in a police union.
This was for the waitress who took my order 40 days ago at Applebee's.
There was one moment with Kyle.
Speaking of Kyle, yep.
we missed where he gave the live ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write that part down.
Yeah.
But he was just like, Jeff, this would be a good apply for Survivor moment. And then Jeff's
Once
like,
again,
all right, we'll do it now.
another great edit choice. That
very
whole
funny.
challenge was full of good editing
It was
decisions.
funny.
Yeah.
And again, 2 different sets of records.
So shout out to Gabler and shout out to Joe and shout out to David.
everybody that we ever have met and will meet.
And honestly, guys, the next minute of me podcasting is for Gabler. Okay.
Me too. So the winning team is eating their reward. Shaheen is still really pumped about what he describes again as a Captain America versus The Rock situation that he just saw. I think he said that during the challenge and after. So David said with all his muscles, there was never a doubt. David was always going to win that. And Cedric is the only person David wants going home tonight. So speaking of SETI,
Shout out.
SETI points out that this group of people will all make the jury. And then Mary goes, whoa, you know what, guys? This means Say isn't making it. And I thought that was kind of wild just to be so confident in throwing out a name and be like, oh my gosh,
that was
Say's
crazy.
Say's not going to be on the jury now.
And everyone was just like, yeah. That was insane.
Which honestly is kind of sad for Mary because Say would vote for Mary.
Oh,
She-
totally.
She thinks that Mary's her best friend.
That's just how good Mary is at mind games, baby.
That's right.
But I do think that might show that there's obviously things that end up on the cutting room floor in the edit where there must have been way more tension around Say that was very like when Mary said that, nobody was like, what makes you say that? Everybody was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, we get back to the old Siva, and Say's talking with Joe, and she says, I'm the easiest vote here, so I don't have much pull. And she's trying to talk to Joe, and he's giving her nothing. Eva, in a confessional, says that Say could be the vote because she's caused chaos. She rubs everybody the wrong way. And there were 2 people who wanted Eva gone last week. One of them went home, Charity, and the other one is Say. So it makes sense that Eva is like, let's take out the 2 people who were gunning for me last week.
Yeah.
But she also said she's a little concerned about Mitch because his performance in those funky little challenges.
I was a little surprised when she decided to kind of go with the plan of getting rid of Say because Mitch is a guy.
On the winning beach, Shaheen, David, and Mary are discussing the plan for tonight and who they should have as a decoy for the vote. Mary says since Shaheen is the last loggy, it should be him, and Shaheen is not a fan of this idea at all. Because, one, if Cedric plays a shot in the dark, he's in trouble. But he just doesn't like being the smokescreen, which is it's fair because it could just flip around on you.
How many times have we seen where people tell people they're the smokescreen just to like make them more at ease? I mean, it happens consistently where they're like, don't worry, we're just saying that we're putting it on you, but we're really voting for this person. So I think he was completely, right to feel that way.
I just want someone to be like, no, I will not be your smokescreen. No, I will not.
Tell you what, that'll be my move. since I'm already doing the move of I don't want to tell you what I'm getting on this.
In the words
journey,
of Steady, cut it. Cut it.
Yeah.
cut it.
Cut it.
Yeah.
So Kyle, he's like, Shaheen's the decoy. That's perfect because I want this guy out of here. Kyle pitched it to Cedric that Shaheen should go home, and Cedric's into it. Steady likes the idea because it's that or go home for him. So Kyle says to Camilla, can we manufacture a situation where Shaheen comes after us? And then it's okay for us to defend ourselves. So it's Camilla's job to once again throw somebody under the bus. And I don't know if you guys have picked up on this yet, but Camilla is amazing at throwing people under the bus.
Dude,
She's
yeah.
the best at it. Hey, Jonathan, what did Camilla tell David? And what do you think of the acting job she did?
Basically, she said that she thought he had an idol and that someone stayed a little further behind at the well.
And suspicious.
It was the delivery of it, the acting once again was brilliant. Because she didn't oversell it. And she didn't say, like, I know he has an idol. She was like, we're worried that he might have an idol.
Yeah.
So
and
I thought it was brilliant.
It's like every single episode, Camilla, well, maybe not every single, but in any episode where Camilla has to, like, enact a plan.
Yes.
She does an amazing job at it.
She's killer
a
with
master strategist. I think she could be your winner, PD.
I think so, too. That's why I picked her first.
She was going to be our number one choice.
You think there's a showmance going on between Kyle and Camilla?
I don't know.
Camilla's married. I follow her on Instagram.
Oh.
And
that doesn't mean anything in this world.
Well, it doesesn't mean anything if you're D.
What happens? What happens in Fiji stays in Fiji.
I want to apologize. I didn't know that she was married, and I'm not implying anything.
I don't think you're the one that needs to apologize for what just happened. Hey,
guys, I love a showman.
Dude, I've hyped up D so much I can take one jab. Okay,
that's not her fault. That's not her fault.
All right, so David. He still wants the strong five in the final five, so he doesn't really want to vote out Shaheen. But now, because of
none
Camilla,
of those puzzle losers,
the puzzler nerds, get them out of here. But
this is what tells me it's gonna bite him in the butt, guys. Like him calling them puzzle nerds and him being like, "I'm never gonna lose a challenge," and Brand being so confident about it. I don't see it lasting. Anyway, keep going.
So he's worried about this idol that Shaheen may or may not have. And he just thinks that Shaheen is a super smart, sneaky guy. And David's trying to decide if it's smarter to vote for the super smart, sneaky guy or the guy who can't win a challenge to save his life and makes all the wrong decisions. So now back to old Siva. So Mitch is really sad. Sad Mitch hours. That's what we call it.
Sad Mitch hours.
He hasn't won a reward. He's been losing. And then he's talking to somebody. And this person he's talking to has an orange shirt on, and it's a female. And
why are you being weird about this?
I'm stalling.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Seamless, guys. Seamless.
So Chrissy says Say and Mitch are on the bottom of the alliances, so even though she doesn't trust Say, Mitch is all over the place, and she doesn't know if it's because he hasn't eaten or what. And here's the other thing she said. He's a strong competitor in these challenges. Wow.
Yeah, sure. These funky little challenges.
Yeah, it's true.
Chrissy makes a lot of sense, though. When she does speak, she's talking a smart game, and she knows what's going on.
Star, she also sees how good Mitch is. I think everybody in this episode was talking about how good Mitch is at one point or another. And Star said that some people have goals for the jury, but she has goals beyond the jury.
Ooh.
Star, she doesn't want to decide who gets my million, she said. She wants to decide who goes home, and she's leaning Mitch, or so she says at this point.
Yeah.
Guys, Star is blossoming in this show. I love Star.
Star's confessionals have been amazing.
Yeah.
Like people
She's
talk about
phenomenal.
winner quotes. That was a winner quote.
That was
right
a
there.
winner quote.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think about all the time. Like everybody's like, yes, we made it to the jury. I don't want to be on the jury. Like I'd rather just go.
No.
Like if I'm not going to win, I'd rather just go home early.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone gets to go home.
No, they're all stuck in Ponderosa, and you
Yeah.
get a bunch of extra money if you're on the jury. So
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
I
would
would
like-
like.
yeah,
Yeah,
much
I'd
Oh,
rather-
yeah, okay,
You've
fine.
convinced me.
Yeah.
You've convinced me.
okay, if I can't go home, then I'd like.
Yeah,
to.
you're trapped there.
Well, that's what's always so ironic about people who quit because they want like they miss their families.
Yeah.
You still don't get to go home.
Yeah. It fiscally makes more sense for me to be on the jury.
So the targets have been set. For old Siva, it's Say and Mitch. And for the winning team, it's Shaheen and Cedric. Dome time, everybody.
Dome time.
Let's start with the losing group. Jeff asks Chrissy, Chrissy, what do you think when you get back to camp and there's a new group of people? And Chrissy says, there was no he big secret that I'm going to run off and talk to someone. She said, we all kept switching partners. What would you call that? The tango, or what kind of dance you do, Jeff? And then Jeff, once again, starts dancing. He mentions Club Condo.
Again, dude.
Back-to-back Club Condo mentions. And then Jeff asks Say how she would describe this vote in terms of the other ones, because she's been to Tribal a lot. And she was like, well, thanks, Jeff, for pointing that out. But she said she feels good about the conversations she's had. And then Chrissy, for some reason, Chrissy speaks and maybe too much.
Sorry. I'm making up for last time.
Okay, so Chrissy, she says she finds it funny that people use honest and loyalty in this game when they're playing Survivor. If you play honest, that's not the game. Chrissy says, I don't think honesty is going to win you $1 million. So sooner or later, we're going to have to break this honesty thing.
Yes. And,
She's right.
But what Chrissy, I don't think, knew about was the fact that there is this alliance that it does seem a little bit different than prior years. They do seem very old school. They do seem very like, we're just going to abide by the alliance. We're not going to step in. So I don't think she knows that there is an alliance that seems to be playing an old school way. Because I don't think she would have said all that out loud like that.
The H&M
Or
alliance.
she's really frustrated by it, because the way she was saying it, it seemed like she was kind of angry at how much she was hearing it. Like, we're playing an honest game, honest game, honest game. She seemed kind of fed up.
She's just like everybody on Twitter and Reddit. They hate the honest stuff.
She's totally right, though. I mean, the thing is, when she's saying it, I'm like, she's accurate. There is a point in the game where you have to backstab somebody and lie. It's just how you have to make it.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, unless you watch those older seasons like we were talking about where Brand said, guess it's my time to go.
Yeah, you know your order.
It's time for you to go.
But then Joe, he says that he thinks honesty can honestly work. Chrissy's like, well, if it's who has the best resume, then it's not going to work at all. Because if everybody's all kumbaya, nobody backstabs each other, we just all go to the end, nobody has a resume. And you just look at the two giant hulking strong guys with the best stories and then hand them the $1 million. So I think Chrissy was right, but should she have said any of it?
Probably
Maybe
not.
held back.
Maybe she should have gone back to her non-speaking ways.
Yeah.
Do you want to yell at Chrissy again, or do you think
Guys, I wasn't yelling. It was a motivation. It was like the way a t-ball coach yells at the kids. You know,
you were giving
scream
t-ball
at them
orders.
so that they do better.
No, I get it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
You like basketball. You know what it's like. You got to yell at the children to make them play better.
Basketball's the t-ball of
The basketball sports.
bigger ones. Yep.
Well, when you have a good draft, you don't have to yell at any of your players, I guess.
There it is. Let's finally get to tribal.
So we've
been
there.
at Tribal.
Let's go to the votes now. And there's
That's
not
what I
much
meant.
drama here. Mitch blocks Say's vote, and it is unanimously decided that Say's torch is snuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Listen, I'm not surprised. You know, it seemed like it's honestly a long time coming. I don't know. You know, I'd be interested to find out who has had the most votes cast against them before finally being voted out. But I have to imagine Say's
Probably up there.
probably up there. So
I actually want to know what that is now.
a pretty great
Yeah.
run, all things considered. And yeah, I'm happy that people have finally come around to Say being a really fun player.
Yeah.
And you guys can send me like your I'm sorry's, whatever you want to.
Well, Brand,
but-
I was going to apologize to you because I underestimated your game and your choices, because I think in the last 2 episodes, I have realized that once again, I was obsessed with Say, you know, and you know, the saying, you don't know what you got until it's gone. When she got voted out, I felt sad inside.
Me too.
And I also felt like, and I discussed this with Kristen today, that I would love to see her come back for another season.
Oh yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. I think she's a great player.
Dude, I would rather see her come back than anybody last season.
Yeah,
Anybody? last
absolutely.
season?
Ooh.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
More than Andy?
More than Andy?
Okay. Besides one person.
More than Genevieve? Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay. Besides Andy,
Yeah.
I would take Say over anybody.
I'm with you
last
on
season.
that
Yeah.
one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I had two big takeaways from Say being eliminated. The first one is I thought it was very funny that Mitch voted for Say 3 weeks in a row and then said, "Love you," when she got eliminated.
And she said thanks. That's what her reply was.
So good.
I also think that it's great that Mary has now beat Say
Oh,
and lasting longer in the game.
Yes.
This is big.
We're far enough removed now to where we kind of forget how, they were competing against each other and how just barely Mary survived. Like all the stuff that happened early in the season, we're so far removed now that it's hard to even remember
How tumultuous
just how
it
close
was.
Mary was.
Dude, a war happened.
A war
Yeah.
happened.
Maybe.
And so for Mary to not only survive longer, but also she does seem to be thriving. She's kind of seems to be finding
Comfortable.
her way. She's kind of in a sweet spot right now. So
She is.
I'm excited to see how far Mary can make it.
Me too, brother. She's on my team.
But I hate that Say and Mary didn't have anything to do with each other going home.
Yes.
I
That
was
would've
waiting
been
for that
good.
payoff all season.
We don't know that. Maybe Mary was doing some like recon on the other tribe. Like, get Say home. Get Say.
Before when they found out the teams, when they pulled rocks or whatever they did to figure out the teams, she went down the line of the other team and just said, "Don't save us."
Yeah. I
But
saw that. I saw
again,
that.
It was really good.
this is why I mentioned earlier that when Mary just looked at the rest of the tribe that lost, she just said, Say's going home. And they all agreed. So that makes me think more was at play, more was happening, why they weren't working with each other.
How many weeks has it been where the next week on Survivor is just Say is going crazy?
Yeah. But even then, the previews would always make it out like she was like disrupting the entire beach.
Yeah,
it's
the
usually
edit,
just
yeah.
like it's usually just her in confessionals, being crazy.
No,
and then-
okay, so Say strategically not the greatest player of all time, obviously,
No.
but just as a personality, as a character, as somebody who always has something entertaining to say.
She's awesome.
Or and like with the moment with Charity where she just sprints right by her and grabs the advantage.
Oh,
Just
man.
little stuff like that.
I'm interested to see like if Say does come back for 50, like getting to watch your game film, so to speak. Like how will that change the way that she plays next time if she does get that opportunity? Because as entertaining as she was, you guys have said she's not the most strategic player, and so if you take her energy and add some strategy to it,
She could go a long way. Can I make a prediction? I think if she comes back for 50, she's going to make a big deal about how she learned her lesson from her season. She's not going to be as outward as she was. And then
I was
the
gonna
very
say
first
the
episode, she is going to be
Chase.
even more potentially outward.
I don't think she would get on 50, but
Yeah, I don't either, but you never know.
it'd be cool.
I think she will be on 50.
Really?
Yeah, I think that she has the personality, and I think that she is the kind of player that makes for a really good season, and they want people spread out from different seasons in 50. So I think it's a pretty good chance.
We have another person to talk about. So Say is out of the game, and let's talk about the next group going to Tribal.
guys, I was so stressed. I was so stressed.
Because you've already lost
Yeah.
one player tonight.
And one of the other players has their name out there is my other player,
Shaheen.
Yeah, and up to this point, it was really looking like Brand's losing 2/3 of his team tonight.
Which there was only an 18% chance of that happening, but it was really looking like it was going to happen to Brand.
Because I mean, going into this, I thought obviously they're going to make the smart move, and Shaheen's going to be going home. But that we'll see what happens. Jeff asks Cedric if right now is about firming up alliances, and Cedric says it's like this, Jeff. Game recognizes game. Iron sharpens iron. And then Kyle says it sounds like maybe tonight is an opportunity to take out a great player instead of solidifying an alliance. And then Kyle says tonight is the difference between short-term and long-term thinking. So,
and then they don't do any of that.
No.
I couldn't believe that Cedric had the balls to say game recognizes game.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing: is like we know that he wasn't able to, achieve any challenge. and he just could not do any strategy talk. And then to absolutely throw out the wildest quote, like game recognizes game. It feels like he's just digging his own grave at that point.
Yeah.
Everything in Tribal, though, everything they were saying, and like even the cuts to Shaheen, like you could see Shaheen begin to like
look around.
And
Yeah.
he's like, I think they're talking about me.
Yeah, he's nervous.
Yeah.
And so we get to the vote, and unlike the last one, it was not unanimous. This time there was one vote for Shaheen, and the rest were on Greenville Cedric. The reign of the Reaper has finally come to an end.
If Kyle and Camilla, the showmans, were really like they really wanted to strike on Shaheen. If they went to Seti
and said, hey, it's going to be you.
It's going to be you. Come with us. They have 3. Like,
yeah, but then you go to tiebreaker.
I wonder what went into them giving up on this plan, because it felt like Mary. I think it was Mary. She said they would be dumb
to keep
Shaheen. Like, go after Shaheen now, because Cedric, isn't a threat.
I mean, we may find out next week. Like, they kind of did that with one of the other tribals earlier in the season, where we were all like, why did they make this decision? And then Cedric was like, it's because like Chrissy came and told me this information. So
but
we may find out next week.
I know that I'm sure David said, hey, I'm not going to vote with you guys because of the alliance. Right? So you don't have him, but I feel like you still could. There was a path there.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's very interesting. I hope we do find out.
And can I say something crazy? And I want to get Jonathan's thoughts on this after I say it. I'm almost as sad to lose Cedric as I am to lose Say.
Dang.
I breathed for the first time in a season of Survivor. It was when he went home. I felt relief more than anything. I was sad for him as a person, and then I thought, now I don't have to wonder. It was too much.
Silence. It is I, the Carolina Reaper, and what might be my last appearance on Making the Merge. Just wanted to pop in and say, hey Chase, hey Jonathan, hey Bran, go yourself, PD. On this podcast, you started off being a big fan of me, and then you showed me, just like everybody else in this town, that you are all fake. And you turned on me, and you criticized me, and then you felt bad for me, and then I went home the next week. So you should have enjoyed the Cedric while you had the chance. I said after I won the million, I'd be coming for you guys next. I didn't win the million, but I'm still coming for you guys next.
Dude, I don't think Prisma's gonna like him cursing.
Yeah, wait a second.
Not Prisma, dude. Oh, dude, the Carolina Reaper, man.
I'm gonna miss.
He went home.
Guy.
I'm gonna miss him a lot.
I mean, we're never gonna get a demon on our podcast again.
Yeah.
What if he's the one that comes back for 50?
Yeah, I mean,
I hope.
Now, gentlemen, I do have 2 thoughts from Cedric going home.
Okay,
and it both of these thoughts come from his exit interview, because he says, first of all, he's like, what an opportunity to get my torch snuffed by Jeff Probst.
Sure.
It was surprising. And when he said that, I was like, was it surprising, Cedric? Because I don't feel like it was surprising that he got his torch snuffed. He felt like he was going home as well. So maybe he just got too comfortable. The second thing, though, that I thought about this is he said, I had a lot more game left in me to play. And that's when I had the realization, maybe he had more game left to play because he didn't use any of it up in the first part of this season.
Maybe he was about to be the biggest challenge beast and strategic mastermind
maybe
we'd ever seen.
You would have won $20.
Yeah, but my thought is, Cedric, you should have used that game before you were gone.
Yeah.
So
he was conserving all his energy for the final 6 or something.
Yeah,
That's
it was
he's
a
going on
balance
run.
problem. It's why he dropped the bucket. It's why he made the decisions he made. He was like, I'm not playing my game yet. I got to wait it out.
We'll have to do puzzles eventually.
Yeah. He was waiting for the moment where they were like, hey, here's a journey. And when he got there, it was going to be a game of operation on the table. He was waiting for that, but
I think
it never
was
came.
his time to go. He ran out of teammates to write down and eliminate. He it was just his time to go. What makes me very happy is now Mary is the only person from the original tribe.
Yeah. Deservingly so.
That means that if she can make it to final 3, she's got a resume. I was the lone survivor of the disaster tribe this season, and I made my way all the way here to you. People online, guys, they're thinking maybe Mother Mary.
Maybe Mother Mary.
She had a strong beginning.
Maybe
we haven't seen too much of her here in the middle, but maybe we start seeing her with some strong outings in these last few episodes.
I really think that this alliance, like, there's something to it this season. It feels a little different. I think they could really.
That's true.
They could run it old school and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Once it's down to the
final 6,
but then that
or
is awful for Mary because she's not in there.
I know. That's like I think it's going to be an uphill battle.
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
I think Kyle and Camilla are going to turn on that alliance at some point.
That's right.
And they're going to need numbers, and Mary is that number.
It's just dependent on when they decide to strike.
Very true.
And I think they're running out of time now.
Dude.
Like,
I agree with you. I think it's going to be a Mary, Kyle, Camilla final 3.
That would be
this
amazing.
is interesting.
Yeah.
So if they in talking with David, they find out this alliance is stronger than we thought that he wasn't even willing to think about turning on him.
Yes.
They need to strike
now.
Starting next episode.
They need to
They have to start picking these people off.
Yeah.
Joe, please be Joe.
And so
No.
because we're not going to get another double elimination. They're not going to be split up anymore.
Thank
and so
God.
they have to
you
start
can pray
now.
for a medevac like Banu. Please, God, medevac one of these players.
Please kill Randon.
So if they're going to do something, they gotta do it.
I agree with you 100%. That's some really solid insight. I
Thank
want to do a quick refresher for everyone about our teams going forward. Bran, who lost someone in the double elimination, now only has Shaheen and David.
It's a strong 2.
He's down to 2.
It is.
The Wrights,
They're in
who were going into the merge with all 4 players, are now down to only 2, with Joe and Kyle, both strong players. PD still has 3 people on his team: Camilla, Eva, and Star.
Girl
all
power.
solid. Girl power.
This might be the wrong season for girl power.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think there's ever a wrong season for girl
Either
power.
way.
Okay. Am I right, ladies?
I said what I said.
Harvardy, baby. Black Widow Brigade. All right.
And then I also have 3 players left with Mary, Chrissy, and Mitch. Chrissy's going to take me all the way. She's going to win the season. One last thing I want to talk about before we head off to the sun.
Chrissy is not winning.
And that is, there is a deleted scene from last episode that got released. And
who's it about?
It's about Cedric, and I think it's a great way to end this episode.
Okay.
Because we find out in this deleted scene that not only did Cedric predict what the challenge was going to be before the immunity challenge.
Whoa.
He calls it that it's going to be the grip thing. But then he proceeds to tell everyone how excited and pumped he is to prove himself.
No way, dude.
How did they cut that?
Why would they cut that out of the episode?
Oh my gosh.
And so for the last minute or so of this episode, I'm just going to play this deleted scene.
Ooh, spicy.
Listen up. A test of pure will, the pinnacle of competing. Will immunity slip through your fingers? Victory feels great, and yet it's just fleeting. The haunting burn of the snuff long lingers.
I think it's the holding this thing, like holding the rope. It's like your weight or something. We get tree mail this morning, and sounds like an immunity challenge. It sounds like it's going to be a test of will. This makes me a little bit excited because I have a lot of will. I have a lot of willpower, and I'm hoping this is my chance to shine with at least an immunity challenge and show that I can be a fierce competitor as well.
It might be something.
Cedric, why?
I have a lot of willpower to be a power lifter, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be able to.
Cedric, give me $20 to pay Bran. I am furious at you that you didn't win that stupid challenge. This is like Saquon Barkley won anytime touchdown in the Super Bowl all over again. I thought it was easy money. All right.
Grant, why are we the only ones not yelling?
Thought it was easy money. You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa Welcome Bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No